morning and a happy holiday. You're welcome to another exciting edition of the program Then and Now on Juliet FM 106.7. And I am your lovely host for today, Juliet Anine. Then and Now, it's a program that compares trends, events, and happenings of the past with that of the present in preparing ourselves for the future. And as always, we're going to start with our quote of the day. And this quote is by Joseph Plusowski. Hope I pronounced it well. He said, "Who doesn't respect and value his past is not worth the honor of the present and has no right for a future." Interesting. So the topic today is marriage, then and now. The topic today is marriage, then and now. Well, today is a public holiday and you should be at home with your spouse if you're married. So grab a chair, just relax and enjoy, today's topic, marriage, then and now. So what is it about marriage then and now? Let's compare. How was it back then? Was it better back then? Or is it better now? Is our grandparents or parents' way of marriage, can we see that is more commendable to what is happening now? Can we tell ourselves that, over the years, as marriage, reduced in value or has it increased? Those are what we're going to be looking at and thinking of. So prepare yourself, for this exciting edition. And as always on this program, you are free to call in to make your contributions, your observations on the topic marriage then and now. I'll be calling the numbers shortly, And for you to call in and say how you feel about marriage then and now. And if you're married, how is marriage life for you? And will you compare your own marriage with that of your parents? Or will you say that your own parent marriage is, more better than yours? I know that's hard to actually admit, but is marriage then and now? So the topic is still marriage then and now. And helping us with this topic today, we are going to be having a wonderful guest. In fact, we have a wonderful guest on our studio today. In fact, very distinguished, beautiful lady. And she is Juliet Anine. She's a family builder and a sex educator. And she's going to be telling us, helping us discuss the topic marriage then and now. And don't forget, you are free to call in when I call the phone numbers to make your contributions on this program. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm so excited to have you here. I've heard so much about you, so I'm over the roof right now. You can see me, I'm practically dancing. And you can watch us live and also see me being excited on this program on our Facebook platform, and that is Pensioners FM 106.7. So just go on Facebook, type the handle, and you can watch this program live. So, moving on to our topic, then and now, marriage then and now. I'm going to be asking my wonderful guest, why do they give us why do people marry back then? What attracts people to marry? So let's say you are married and also your own background as a sex educator and also as a family builder. So why do people marry back then? The reasons, what attracts people, to marry?
Well, majorly those days, what attracted people to marry was, the need for companionship. And particularly because of economic reasons. Economic reasons in the sense that we had lots of, I'm talking in the context of Africa now, Nigeria.
Yes, definitely.
Now,
right here.
We had lots of people who were into farming, those kind of things. So they needed people to help boost their work. Not necessarily to work on the farm, but at least when there is harvest, to help in easing the things, the work. Now, another reason why people married in the past too, there were also arranged marriages. My daughter is growing big, and a lot of times in the past, we had lots of young people getting married, teenagers.
Why is that?
Well, as at that time, that was what was obtainable, as it were, in the society. Over the years, society has evolved.
Definitely.
Things have changed. So we're seeing things differently now. But then, then too, we had this thing of girl child and education. it wasn't pronounced like it is today. So it was just normal that after, say, primary school
You should
and
get
then
married.
secondary school, you get married. And then it was also believed that when people got married early, it curbed waywardness. So when you get married early, you won't be prone to being promiscuous.
Promiscuous. Wow. Okay, so comparing it to now, why do people marry now?
Well, we still have some who marry now because of the reasons of then.
Companionship.
Basically, marriage should be for companionship. Marriage should be because this other person coming into your life has something to add to your life, and you have things to add to each other's lives to form a team. Now, why do people marry now too? Now we hear people, we marry for love. In the past, it wasn't so pronounced because I talked about arranging marriages.
Duties, like you have to marry.
Yes, you have to marry, and then your father wants to keep friendship with another person, and then you marry. But today we have a different scene where young people fall in love and they tell you, see, we're in love and we're just meant for each other. So people marry today because of love. People marry today. Now, today too, we have people marrying for the wrong reasons, for material purposes. You know, the girl wants to marry and then she just sees an ATM in the guy and then she marries. And then you have a lot of young people today telling you they want to marry a made man. In the past, it wasn't like that. In the past, the values in the society was such that a woman would go into marriage ready to build with the man. Today, yes, the attraction to materialism, and then the bitter lessons some have learned from other people's experiences. You know, they tell you, see, when you stay and build from the scratch with them, when he hammers, he goes for a more sophisticated girl, that kind of thing. So you have such reasons changing the attitude of people towards marriage today.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma. So I want to also just jump on one thing, because the reasons why people marry, you said you talked about the female aspect wanting to marry for material gain. What about the male aspect of it? Most men, they want to marry because they need like a maid. They want someone to cook and clean. That's how they like, oh my God, my clothes are always dirty. I'm always hungry. I'm still single. I need to marry. And you see them getting married. Is that a wrong reason for marriage?
Of course, that's the wrong reason to marry. Why would you marry because you're looking for somebody to cook for you? As a matter of fact, what we advocate these days is for the male child to also be taught every chore. I have sons. I have a teenage son. He cooks.
Wow.
He does. The only difference between what he can do and what his sister, they do everything. And that is actually a good foundation to lay so that the child does not become dependent. Is it dependent I should use? So that the child is, let me use equipped, so that the boy who becomes a man tomorrow is equipped enough to stand on his own for life. In fact, such reasons will make him marry for the right reasons. It wouldn't just be because, my clothes are dirty. I mean, if your clothes are dirty, get a washing machine.
Thank you.
If you think you cannot cook,
there are so many restaurants around.
Or go to YouTube and learn how to cook.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. So let's look at marriage and an institution itself.
And then, sorry, let me cut you too.
Okay.
I talked about materialism, the reason why. It's not only girls that marry for materialistic purposes. These days, we also have young men, sadly. We have young men who are looking for women who have made it.
And they want to marry.
So when you hear cases of, say, a 26-year-old young man marrying a 50-something-year-old, 60-something-year-old woman, if you investigate deeply, she is made.
But sometimes
as it were.
The age difference is not so much, and then the man still marries her for that materialistic game. She's made, and she made it at a young age or their age bracket. But the fact that she's well to do in society now, he still marries her. So it's not, is it necessarily the age?
Okay, well, not the point I was making about the age was to show that young men
Still do
are
what
they
women
also go
do.
to marry for materialistic purposes. You understand? It's not. I'm not. The emphasis is not so much
on the age
on the age. It's on the motive
of
for marrying, because you'd
marriage.
hardly find a young man of say 26 marrying a girl of say 34 who is also still struggling, a woman of 34 who is also still struggling. So most times when you have young men do that, the age gap is usually much between they and the women they marry.
All right, thank you, Ma. Okay, now we're going to I was talking about marriage itself, the institution. Now, before people get married, they don't do all these things we do now. Medical tests, this and this. If your status, if your blood group matches, or your genotype, and all those things. So people do them now. So was it a particular problem back then why people don't you do medical tests before marriage, and has it helped now?
Well, like I said earlier, society has evolved. Our knowledge level has increased. So some of those things we overlooked then, with researches, we've discovered that those things we overlooked and thought didn't matter then, we've discovered that they matter now. For instance, the blood test you said. I used to know a woman who had she had children, like 5, like 6, but they kept dying. They were dying. She lost them all. It was discovered, she married several years ago. It was discovered that the children were sicklers. And because of ignorance, she lived in a village.
Okay, yes.
She lived in a village. So she didn't even know the precautions to take. Because I know of people who are parents to sicklers today, who got aware early, and then they started that journey with knowledge. So, from childhood, the child is taking folic acid, the child is not exposed to mosquitoes, the child is not exposed to all those things that could trigger the thing regularly. It's not as if it doesn't come. But in the past, knowledge of these things was very small. So people just got into marriage like that. I remember when I wanted to get married, you called me Chinyere Adeyemo, so I'm Igbo, my husband is Yoruba. I remember when I went to Aba and I told my relations, the first question one of my relations asked was, have you done your genotype? I said, no, ma. She said, Chinyere, you can't be serious. You can't be coming to tell us about marriage. See, the beginning of love today is that you know your genotype. You know your genotype. And she said it from a position of love. Yes. Because she was like, see, all this love you're saying now, if you marry and you start having children, challenges with their children that have challenges with their health, you realize that love will fly out of the window. So it's better you get these things right. And if you check a lot of people too, I remember also I know another person who has 3 children, 2 of them are SS. She didn't know. They married several years ago too. And she said in one of the occasions where one of the children had a crisis, the child was asking, Mommy, why did you marry Daddy? Why did you marry Dad? And she felt terrible. So yes, your genotype and all that, I think we should pay attention to them because of the effect they will have not only on our marriage, but even on the children that we'll be producing.
Thank you so much for that. I always feel that we are going sometimes to the extreme in demanding for it. Most churches, if you don't bring it, don't come to their altar to get married.
It's actually for the good. They know the things they have seen. They know the things they have seen.
And people will start attributing them to fetish and voodoo.
And a lot of times, if you've not had the experience or you've not had somebody close to you that has had the experience, you think they are overblowing it. I remember I have a relation who wanted to get married. He and the young woman were in love, and then they realized they both had the AAAS genotype. And they were willing to fake it. God can do all things and all that. The girl's father said, no, if God will not do it before your marriage, I am not going to allow you to take that risk. And they had to break up. So I think, yes, the churches who are insisting on it, they are actually doing the couples good.
Thank you so much. So let's go on to the next question. Okay, let's by our time check, we have to go on a short musical break. Don't go anywhere. The program is still Then and Now, and we are still talking about marriage, then and now. When we come back, we are going to open the phone lines so you can also call in to make your contributions. And for now, please listen to See Journey, Journey. I want you to love me. So put your watch over and the song is dedicated to both of you. Journey, journey, I want you to love me. Journey, baby. Journey, journey. Kilo day, why you gonna call me? Kilo day, baby. Kilo day, I give you signal. Why you gonna see me out? I give you green light to tire. I'm a killer babu. Now you know the phone. I go shoot my shot. So go baby, take my number. You can call me later. Yeah, I want to be your lover. Oh baby, call me later. So love people video, what's your phone? Journey, baby, Should wanna stop for me. You don't say you like me. I'll be running back home. I give you signal. Sure you know they see me. I give you green light. I'm a killer babu. No my love from the world. I go shoot my shot to you. So go baby, take my number. You know you can't call me later. I want to be your lover. Oh baby, call me later. No big crowd, no mercy, love you, I love you, baby, yes, I love you, baby, oh, baby, tell me why, you better take time, just call me, baby, my, oh, baby, take my number, maybe you can call me later, I want to be your lover. Baby, call me later. Baby, you I don't wait for you to say you mama. Me, I want to be your lover. Oh, baby, call me later. It's 28 minutes to the hour of 12. And you still listening to Pensioners FM 106.9 106.7. The program is Then and Now. We'll be looking at marriage then and now. And in case you're just joining us, our Facebook page is open and we are streaming live. So just go on Pensioner FM 106.7. That is our Facebook handle, and you can watch this program live. Also, so the numbers to call are 0908 1111 067. That's 0908 111 167. You can call us from 0808 I can't wait to hear your contributions on the topic marriage then and now. And we still have our wonderful guest on this program, beautiful woman, Juliet Anine FM. You're welcome anyway. Welcome back to the program. I'm so excited to have you here today. We are going to jump in and talk about all the other questions that we have to do. And it's let's look at the how is it happening?
Well, there has always been domestic violence, really. There have always been domestic violence because you even find that in the past you hear stories of our mothers.
Okay, sorry, ma. There's a call coming in.
Okay.
Hello, Cora. Hello, Cora.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Bella from Ibadan here. This can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What if you person has married for 10 years?
Married for 10 years. Okay.
And I don't want to marry another. What can I do? We don't many medical tests. No, there's no any problem.
Okay, can I get the question again? If the person has married for 10 years and you want to marry again,
No, there's no issue. There's no children.
there's no children.
Okay.
And
The person.
okay,
Well,
thank you so much, Kola, for that question.
there are different ways to look at it. There are different ways to answer that question. But I will answer it from the faith perspective, from my faith perspective. You know, sociologically, you can just say, get another woman. That's one aspect. That's one way to look at it. But I will look at it from my faith. I'm guided by my faith. Now, we should understand that when we are getting married, another wrong reason to get married will be just to have children.
Well, that's how society works.
That's how society works. And remember, I told you I'm answering from my faith perspective. Good. So, I feel you, sir, that yes, there is a marriage and in 10 years, there is no child yet. But I know that there are situations where there are people who have come to tell us 25 years going, God provided, a miracle happened. You understand? Now, I also know that the whole essence of this, and I'm being very careful because I'm on air. I also know that the whole essence of this thing is for the propagation of family. So some people tell you, see, what's the use? What's the use of getting married and you don't have a child? Who will continue your name? I know we have those challenges and we have that mindset. But I also know that we also have people who tell you that, see, if you have only girls, they are still your children. So we can either say, let's keep praying, let's keep hoping. I am a family builder. I will not advocate divorce. And like I am talking to, I also will not say, go and get married to another woman because the one at home has not given birth. It is a decision you as the husband will take weighing all the implications.
But there are some people that do something called surrogate birth.
Yes, I know there are people there. Technology has brought in a lot of knowledge. Increase in knowledge has brought in a lot of things. These days too, we also talk about the IVF. There is IVF, there is surrogacy, there is every other thing. And he said they have done tests.
Yes.
So maybe they have not done enough. And then some people tell you what's the adopted child. I mean, the whole essence is to have someone you can also nurture and pour your love into. I used to know a woman back then. She didn't have a child on time. I don't even know if she has her own personal child now, if she has given her own biological child. But she adopted. And you see, when she adopted, she came alive. In the real sense of coming alive. The sheer joy of calling her mommy somebody. She came alive. The woman that was looking dry, when she adopted. But those are family decisions. These are not things I will say, this is what you must do. This is not what you should do. You understand? Because it will not be proper. It will not be professional to start saying, how can she not have given birth? Fling her out, bring in another person. It is a decision that you as the man and the wife possibly will need to sit down and take. And if we're flinging faith into it, under God, to take, to say, okay, this is what. Now, we also know that Islam permits 4 wives. So if we are looking at it from that point of view,
means you can get more wives.
So it depends on who is asking the question, and it depends on the whole purpose.
Some people, being a Muslim, they don't want to marry another wife. So it's not like even their religion permits, they don't want
to. But the one of the, I'm trying to balance it so that it doesn't look like, okay, she's coming to talk Christian faith here. You understand? But like I said, it is not a decision you will make because you heard me speak on radio. That's okay, throw her away, leave her, endure, pray, and all that. But those are all the possibilities. And like we brought in technology, that can also be explored. I hope I answered.
I hope you answered your questions. I hope you answered your questions. So let's move on to, we're talking about domestic violence back then. You said that there always been domestic violence. And, like the way it erupts back then, is it as prominent as it is now? Because there's still domestic violence.
And maybe I should answer this question from the backward before we face domestic violence. What actually causes domestic violence? Selfishness, ignorance, and if we are able to handle the causes, we just may not have domestic violence. We just may not. We really should not be having domestic violence.
But there are some violent men, violent women too.
Now, if you tell me there are violent men and women, I would ask you why you married a violent man or woman. That's why we're going backward. You understand? Because most times these people, you see the red flags. You're in a relationship, and then there's a misunderstanding. And then he's angry, he's vibrating, he's hitting you. And you come back to tell us you love him and you'll marry him, he'll kill you. Or you'll kill each other. I read a story yesterday. The girl said she's in another second year or third year. They were not really dating, but they just found themselves in that situation. And then one day they had a misunderstanding. They're both students. They had a misunderstanding, and the guy slapped her 3 times.
Wow.
Then she too, she just realized her talents in quotes, and she took a broken tile and flung it at him. And he had a cut in front of his head, They went to treat him. Anyway, it was the guy that ran from the relationship.
Okay, that's WWF championship.
And the girl was now pleading that she loved the guy. She wanted to continue the relationship, blah, 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 blah. But the guy said, see, I've had enough.
He has met his match.
Do you understand? In fact, that was what somebody said, that when they meet their matches, they run good. Now, the point I'm making is, if both of them, in a moment of silliness, get together and say, see, we love each other, let's marry.
That's how
you already know. There's no how there won't be violence. And then we also need to realize that when we marry, we don't stay static. Marriage is not the end of it all. Even in marriage, you must continue to develop yourself. you must continue to improve yourself. So if as a woman, for instance, when you got married, everything used to get you angry and then you react and all that, you should work on yourself just like the man. We should keep working on ourselves. As we keep working on ourselves, our capacity to tolerate and accommodate will increase. And then there will really be no need. Now, I know too that financial issues can bring about violence. You know, perhaps the man used to have a job and then he doesn't have a job anymore. And maybe the woman has become the breadwinner, you know, and then she wants to lord it over him. And I'm not saying that is a good situation, but these things happen. We're talking about the things on ground. So one day the man just gets angry and he snaps and he hits her and all that and all that and all that. That is also not a good way to handle it. That is also not a good way to handle it. And the woman who is the breadwinner temporarily too, should realize that, okay, that is why you married in the first place, to be a team. If you cannot do it, I will do it while I can.
And nobody prays for such things.
Nobody prays for such things, but these things happen. But that is also not to say that the man should relax, because we also have, these days we have an amazing increase in the number of men who have learned helplessness. It is terrible. You know, they just see that the woman is helping out and then they just relax. They say she's doing it all. That is learned helplessness. You just feel you don't want to do anything. Now that's a wrong thing to do.
Some might even bring up feminism. What a woman can do, woman can do better.
Don't mind such people. Don't mind such people. That is not. That does not make for an ideal team building, because marriage is first about building a team. You're coming in, I'm coming in. We are both being, it's not one-sided. We're both being selfless. Because, okay, let's throw in love, because we love each other and we have an aim. It's not just because we have married and that is all.
Okay, let me throw the numbers again. In case you're just joining us, numbers to call is 0908 111 067. That's 0908 111 067 and 0808 010 1067. So, we're going to another question that always, people always ask, cheating in marriage, then versus now.
Okay, let me wrap up the domestic violence thing. Now, domestic violence today now, it looks okay because the trend now has changed. You know, we now have more people, more women being vocal. Women are more vocal these days, perhaps because they get into marriage more enlightened. And then we also have the bad side of the effect, negative effect of social media, of media generally. Because, you know, in the media portrays it that, see, don't take any nonsense from any man. Any man just does it, he just moves. Because these days, in this generation, it's so shocking that many people think the solution to misunderstanding in marriage is divorce. You see them come online and they are saying, the man did this, the man did that, what should I do? And then among the people who begin to give them counsel, they say they can't take rubbish from a man.
Most people will take it, they're bitter.
Do you understand? Now. Just move on. You understand? Now, those things too, they have contributed to our perspective of domestic violence. So you go, you read something, and you're like, okay, so this is done like this too. The ideal situation should be that there should actually be no form of violence. No form of violence.
It's on that way.
Whether emotional, whether physical. Yes. Because you see, you're two people who are supposed to be in love, who are building something, and then if you look out for one another, you should not want to outmatch each other in hurting each other.
I recently heard this story. It's a true life story. I'm going to hide the person's identity, of course. And this one is not even physical abuse, it's emotional abuse. Every day, you're worthless, you're this, you're that. So I think it's a form of domestic violence too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Depressed, anything you do, look at how you are, look at how your body is. You are not, you know, and same goes for, you know, other side too. The women who say you're a useless man, you know.
And, you know, I will still go backward. It is also because of how they got married. The point at which they got married. Now, when you get married from a disadvantaged position, you may not escape these forms of violence we're talking about. For instance, as a woman, you are completely dependent on the man. Please understand what I mean. He brings money for everything. You have to ask him even for money to buy your undies. When you are not financially empowered, not necessarily for a blue-collar job, you know, you don't have a skill, you don't have anything that brings in income for
Just
you.
at home.
That is a disadvantaged position to be in, even if the man has everything. Because the truth is, he's human. He's human. On a bad day, he could just decide to rub it in for you, you know, and such things come up. Then sometimes too, you have girls who get married, perhaps because she didn't plan it, but she took in for the man. And then the family is saying, see, you can't bring disgrace to us, so you must marry. Now, those are disadvantaged points, positions. Now, sometimes, so these girls get married, or the man could get married from a position of low self-esteem. He hasn't worked on his self-esteem. So he just feels, see, this one that just asked, please, let me quickly marry. And then you're not growing. You're not developing. Both of you are static. You will not likely not miss those forms of abuses where the man begins to, or the woman begins to tell you, see, you're a useless man, you're a worthless man. In marriage, we grow. Marriage is not static. In marriage, we grow. If both parties are throwing in their putting in their best and taking care of their responsibilities, such abuses will likely not arise. Even though it is not a formula, you still have bad cases.
At least you have to have a good foundation.
Exactly.
So having a disadvantaged position, it's inevitable to bring.
Yes, just like a man too marrying because the girl is from a very rich home.
So that's related to cheating, because cheating is so prominent that now, even if you are married and you say, unmarried lady or single lady, and tell her you're married, she doesn't mind. She'll go ahead and they have a relationship with you. So that's
if we're talking about cheating as in having relationship, extramarital affairs.
Outside of marriage.
Okay. Well, in the past, because of the value in the society, cheating was not seen as cheating like it is seen today. The man likes the woman, and then yes, he could even say he wants to marry her, and then she doesn't mind being a second wife or a third wife or whatever. But today, society has evolved, and you see, because society has evolved, we're grappling with a lot of things that were not part of our culture. Now we also have this trend of "it's my life." These days we have people telling you, say, "It's my life, it's my life." In the past, we had people submitting to the authorities of others in the family. I'll explain. You have a situation where you're marrying, you're not just marrying that person, you're marrying the family. So there's that support. Today too, in addition to being materialistic, we have also become very individualistic. So it's just you and your husband. Some don't relate with their in-laws, and it cuts off the support. So if you have a young man who is cheating now, you don't even have anything to do. You don't have anyone to report to, because it's an individualistic world. But we should also explore, why do people cheat? Lack of self-control, immaturity. Because I believe that when you're getting married, you should realize that what you're doing is you're making a decision to leave every other person for this one person. Since you are deciding, I want to get married. So when you have somebody saying, when people marry for the wrong reasons, you cannot miss having them get to this point of cheating for fun's sake. Because that's what some people do these days. They just say, what's the you want to have a side chick. Some will come up with silly analogies like, how can you be eating rice every day? You should be able to eat pounded yam. You should be able to different meals. A variety is the spice of life. Now, those will not help in building marriages. Because when we go into marriage, we ought to go into marriage with a focus. And if we're going into marriage for the right reason, see, I love this person, we're going to build together, we're submissive to each other, we respect each other, we consider each other, there will really be no reason to cheat. And even if you're under pressure, because I understand too that sometimes it's the ladies, they or vice versa, it could be the ladies, could be the male. But you know, a lot of times you have young people telling you, see, it doesn't matter even if you're married. I don't mind being a side chick. Just put me.
They don't mind.
I don't mind being a side chick. Just put me as a baby mama and all that.
Collecting money.
Now, it is important that the man, the onus to make the decision is actually, it lies on him to say, no, I should not be doing this to my wife because I am committed to a relationship.
Right. So what are the factors? Let me just throw this. Some men feel that it is right for them to cheat, but it's not right when a woman cheats. That why would she be cheating? But he's a man, he can cheat.
That's a patriarchal thinking. They're coming from the position of patriarchy. But, you know, it is even wrong for anybody to cheat in marriage. I mean, why should you even cheat? Why should you cheat? If you know you will still, you have not yet overcome yourself. Everybody has it in him or her to cheat, because the truth is that, yes, the person you're married is a great person, but it's not like you'll not meet other great people and other attractive people. And then there's this lure about cheating. Another reason why people cheat, there's no commitment. You can do anything and get away with it, unlike your wife. For instance, you're married and you have children, you have bills, you have things to pick. So sometimes you don't even remember the lovey-dovey part because the responsibilities are piling. But for the side chick or side guy, there are no commitments, no legally binding and cultural family commitments. So when you have, you go. When you don't have, some will tell you because they want to ooze, they want to vent, or but it is wrong to cheat. It is a wrong mindset. It's actually a mindset. It doesn't make you.
Some people say it's the woman that she's so busy with, like you said, with family, children, bills, everything, that she neglects, taking care of him.
Now that is actually a valid point. We will not knock it off for the man, but rather than go to cheat, why don't you bring it to the attention of the woman? For the woman, really, when the children start coming, not just the first, second, third, say fourth, sometimes then, as she too grows older, emotional changes and all that, sometimes she finds it difficult creating a balance. It's actually a balance thing. So I don't think the woman intentionally neglects the man, especially if he's a good man.
You don't see it like that. You usually don't see it like that.
I'm a woman now, so I'm talking on behalf of the women, it's not like the woman intentionally neglects the man. She may just overdo that children aspect. So if the marriage is important, both of you should still come back and talk about it. And intentionally, marriage is about intentionality. We it's just like going to school. If you don't study hard, you will not pass. You understand? That is how it is with marriage. That for us to make marriage work, apart from the prayers and all that, we also have the part we will put in. So both of you have to map out strategies to keep nurturing your marriage so that it will work. Because if we have examples of people who have been married for 60 years, 40 years, happily, still going strong, then it means that if we're not doing it right, it's because we're getting it wrong. It's not because it cannot work. It can work.
All right. Thank you so much. Our time is fast spent. I've been enjoying myself. I really forgot to time check. And thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you so much, Mrs. Chinyere. I really, enjoyed this session. Should I say it's one of my favorite sessions of Then and Now? So I really enjoyed this session. I'm excited. Learning a lot from you. So I want to just tell everyone that thank you for listening, and hope you listen with your spouse if you're married. And even if you're not married, there's a lot of things to learn from marriages then and now. And that is the aim of this program. So we just compare it and see how we can make it better. So don't make the same mistakes people are making now. Don't make the same mistakes people made back then. So I want to appreciate everyone, and on behalf of my wonderful team today. I want to thank you all. Thank you, Ms. Shala Cairo. I'm so grateful. Thank you to Ms. Leo Shitu. Thank you for being a producer of this program. And thanks to you for listening to this program. And thank you, caller, for calling in. I appreciate all of you. You're still listening to Consciousness FM 106.7, Voice of Liberation. And I'm Juliet Anine. I'm going to leave you with this wonderful song by M.I. 1 Naira. So that's for all you couples. And it says, keep staying strong. Doesn't matter what you're going through, just keep loving each other, whether na 1 Naira, whether na 1 million. You got each other. So thank you once again, and bye for now.